We know Paige Beckers is the number one pick. Let's go to Bleacher Report. Let me pull this up. Make this full screen. So, according to Bleacher Report, the mock draft goes like this: Paige Beckers, Dominique Malanga, who's the 19-year-old from France, the phenom. I see some highlights. Oh my gosh, she's really amazing. Played with the adults, so she has some experience, unlike Juju and who I thought maybe should challenge um, the age limit. Kiki to the Mystic. Oh, I'm sorry. Mystic's got 3 picks in the top 6. So their first pick would probably be Sonia Citron, according to them. Kiki Airfin, Cheyenne Sellers. I think I would take, for the Mystics, I would take Anissa Burrow with Sonia Citron and Cheyenne Sellers. Cheyenne Sellers is the big point guard. She's 6'2". She can play some too as well. And Kiki would be, to me, would switch with Merle. I would take her with the Valkyries. So you have Haley Van Lith, my bad, Justice Joy, JJ from can't pronounce her name, from Lithuania. Tiana Paopao to Chicago. Sanaya Rivers to the Lynx, and Serena Sundell to the Wings. That is very interesting. Some have Rivers going to the Sparks. You know what? I like the Lynx, but I think she's a great coach. Cheryl Reeves don't play rookies, and Pilly didn't get a lot of run, but when she got in there, she played pretty good a few games. She didn't get a chance to get into the playoffs. So that's gonna be tough for Sanaya Rivers. I'm hearing as well, it might be some trades. It's always been rumors even before the season started that Beckers would be number one pick, barring any injury, and that she might not want to go to Wings. So it says Lynx offer.
First team that I think would have that call to Curt Miller and say, hey Curt, we are the Minnesota Lynx, and Paige Beckers grew up in Minnesota. She went to Hopkins High School in Minnesota, which is very popular basketball school. Here's what I think the Minnesota Lynx would offer for Paige Beckers. They want their star to come back home. Here's what they could offer. Here's what they're sliding across the table. Courtney Williams, Bridget Carlton, Diamond Miller, and a 2026 draft pick. So we talk a lot about this draft class, but the 2026 draft class is even more stacked than this draft class. All right. So the Minnesota Lynx would get Paige Beckers to go alongside Napheesa Collier and Kayla McBride. I'm laughing because I just know this won't happen, but it's fun to pretend, right? If Paige Beckers was now in her home state, her hometown, and able to play alongside another UConn great in Napheesa Collier, Dallas would still get their point guard. They would get a dog in Courtney Williams. They would get their knockdown shooter and Bridget Carlton. They would have an extra, especially off the bench, an energizer player in Diamond Miller. And they'd have a draft pick. All for just one player. I don't know. That doesn't...
Let's stop right here. So, you give away Courtney Williams, some other players to play with fee. Like I said, Minnesota, she's from Minnesota. Minnesota don't play rookies, but they'll play her. If that ever happened, a win-win for Dallas and not so good for Minnesota. You give up too many players. Who's going to play? Who's going to be on the team? As good as Fee and Beckers are. So let's get back into it. Let me see. They had some other situation. Now this is the Los Angeles Sparks, according to the Bleacher Report. If the Los Angeles Sparks added to it or wanted to do a three-way with the Dream. Let's check this out. Another commercial. Lord. So yeah, but Minnesota will be good, I guess. She is a hometown girl, but they're not going to give up a lot even for Paige Beckers because they have nothing. This is a team that went to the finals last year, and so that's giving up a little too much. But yeah, we all hope and dream according to Minnesota.
Okay, moving on to the next team that will be picking up the phone. This is an interesting one. Atlanta. The Atlanta Dream. They are a team that pretty much won or are a very big contender for winning in free agency. They made a ton of moves. They already have a superstar in Ryan Howard. They had Alicia Gray. And you bring in a Brittany Griner, you bring in a Bree Jones, you bring in a Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, and they already have Jordan Canada running the point. So this is another team that, that could be interesting. So here's my thoughts. Here's my thought process. You have to give up one of your superstars because they have. I don't think it's going to be Ryan Howard. I think the Dream are going to try to hold on to her as long as possible. But your number 2 option is Alicia Gray. You send her back to the Wings. You also throw in a Bree Jones, who would be in the post alongside a Tiara McCowan and an Alyssa Smith if they decide to keep those players after all this movement. Then you put in Haley Jones. You need a backup guard. Sure. Throw her in there. And then a future draft pick, most likely whatever they have coming up in the 2026 draft, but they might not have a lot left based off of some moves that the Dream have done in these past couple years. So then you get Paige Beckers next to Ryan Howard and a Jordan Canada. You move right to the 3. You have JC at the 1. You have Paige at the 2. Who do you guard? Who do you guard? And then you have BJ, and we have been able to see things move, make some things shake for the Atlanta Dream. And then one of UConn's greats, Renee Montgomery, is sitting pretty in the front office of the Atlanta Dream. So if there is any way, any smidgen of hope that she could potentially.
That sounds better for for both teams, sort of, kind of. You send Alicia Gray back to the Wings. Get Jordan Canada still there. Yeah, that's a good pick for the Wings. Yeah, but I don't think these trades going to happen. Of course, you get the 26th player doing there. If he was the Wings, you don't know what's that's going to be, the draft order. So those are interesting scenarios. Very interesting scenarios for the uh, you know Paige Becker sweepstakes. But I think they're going to hold on to that pick unless it's really, really, really beneficial. So let's take a look at it one more time. Things would get Alicia Gray, Brianna Jones, Haley Jones, and a future pick, maybe the 26th pick. And with Paige Becker's, she would still be with. She's teamed up with Jordan Canada and Ryan Howard. And then you have BG. Sounds okay. We'll see how BG holds up. Sometimes she looks real like herself, and sometimes she don't. But that's unlike the Lynx. The Wings will give up less players. Get Beckers, but that's not going to happen. According to Women's Hoops Masterclass, it's talking about the next available. And so you have Destiny Adams for Rutgers, the forward. Tukeen for Notre Dame. She's very interesting. I think when Notre Dame was winning, she was a very important part getting her mid-range, the rebounding, and the defense. When she was getting involved in the offense, I think Notre Dame played better. So she's very underrated. Tukeen. Bree Hall, seatbelt gang, one of the best defenders in the country. She can shoot within getting her opportunity to shoot. She can shoot the three, shoot the fin, and she could definitely find a home on any team. You got Corey Love from Arlington, UT Arlington, small forward. Deanna Gatson, Reagan Richardson, Diamond Jack Johnson, who's very interesting. Now, she's a bucket getter. She's kind of small, so that's why. And then she went to a smaller school. She was at Rutgers for a minute, and she did very well with North Fork State. She was like the black college version of Haley Van Lith, as far as going to another school, thriving, and winning. So, got Middle Tennessee's and Alicia Oravia, who can't pronounce that. Then Emma Rancic of Colorado State, small forward. Alyssa Usby, North Carolina. Asia Petty, center, Ohio State. She's very interesting. It was games where she played pretty good, games where she kind of disappeared, but she has a nice size. She can rebound, she can defend. So that's pretty. Whoever get her, be pretty good. Yaya Fielder, Baylor guard, and Star Jacobs of the gritty Ole Miss Rebels. Let's go to number 14 according to Women's Hoops Sports Masterclass. You have Izzy Higginbotham, guard, Arkansas. Okay. Taylor Berry, small forward, Ohio State. I like her game too. I've seen her. She can rebound. She can shoot jump shots. She's very greedy down there. She kind of played like she's a little bit bigger, I guess, than Morrow. And she plays, very scrappy. So whoever get her would be pretty okay. Guard, Mississippi State. Now that's very interesting. She killed South Carolina. She got any shot she wanted, layups. This lady is a walking bucket, and I think she should be higher in the next round than what they have her as. They have Yugon Anya from California, RB Griffin, small forward UConn, Agnes Emma Lupo, TCU, Georgia Willie, Syracuse, Deja Lawrence, Kentucky, Kennedy Todd Williams, Ole Miss, Honey Kerr from Rhode Island, and May Ferre from Utah. Now you notice they didn't have one Sedona Prince. And Sedona Prince has some off the field issues with DB. And so, that kind of, might have her on the outside looking in. I'm not sure. It might be a general manager that might take a chance. She's 6'7", can't teach height. So should be intriguing. Teams that need height. One of my favorite teams, the Aces. They lacking height. People they got. One young lady is off on maternal leave, so she's gonna be missing most of the season. I like some of the picks that the Bleacher Report said. Only thing I would pick Merle. She's not going to disappear. She's gonna keep grinding, and so I would pick her. Even though she's smaller, I would pick her over Kiki. But that's just my opinion. But basically, I like some of the things that they said. Mystics. Wow. Dominique Malunga. I was like, but you know what? I wouldn't pass on her if I was Seattle. Yeah. If Sellers is not there, Citron, I think the Sky should try to get that. I think I would take I forget. But I think players to look out for, Sanaya Fagan. She's very interesting. 6'3". She could shoot a mid-range, gritty defender, great passer. So that's one of my, even though I'm kind of biased, I'm a South Carolina Gamecock fan. So that's some of my picks for, and my rundown for the draft. That's coming tomorrow, Monday, 7 p.m. ESPN. Can't wait to watch. So, still some more backlash. This is getting ridiculous. Some more backlash about Don Staley. All of a sudden, Don Staley can't coach. All of a sudden, Don Staley is not the Hall of Famer, not only as a player, but she might go down, or she is going to go down as a Hall of Fame coach. So a double Hall of Famer, not player and coach. So now they saying, since Alayshia Fulwiley jumped in the portal, and that she's holding Malaysia back, that she should get fired. Calls for her firing. Let me tell you something. People don't know, before Don Staley got to South Carolina, nobody thought about them. I've been watching SEC a long time. It's always Georgia. It was always Tennessee, definitely, with Pat Summitt. The Auburns, the Alabamas. South Carolina was never thought of. It's almost like she built a team from scratch. So you fire South Carolina, fire Don Staley. Who are you going to replace her with to have that success? For the last 10 years, matter of fact, she won 3 SEC conference regular season and tournament conference championships. That's very hard. SEC is very physical. It's very grinding. It's very a lot of competition. People want to talk about Don Staley's 10 McDonald's All-Americans, but don't sleep on other teams. They have multiple McDonald's All-Americans as well. So you fired her with. This is the NIL. I can't just think that Malaysia wanted to leave because she wasn't getting playing time. Certain schools, I'm not saying that South Carolina don't have any money. Certain schools have that oil money. So maybe she's chasing just not only minutes, but she's chasing money. Maybe she can come back. Maybe she will come back. I don't know. She has some NIL deals, but she's chasing the big ones as well. She got some big ones. She wants some more. We have players in the SEC leaving because they want more money. Tennessee make millions and billions off their players. And now players realizing, you know what, I want a big piece of the pie. But if she left, that's okay. That happens. It's not gonna be the first. It's not gonna be the last. There's nothing she can do. But what you can't do is disrespect the best thing that ever happened in South Carolina. You can't disrespect the best thing that happened to women's sports, especially basketball. And the same way you don't disrespect Gino, even though I'm not saying she's Gino, but she's in the conversation. Same way you don't disrespect Kim Mulkey. Which you don't realize, before Gino beat Don, it's been 9 years before he made it back to the championship game and won. Kim didn't make it to the championship game last year. Kim didn't make it to the championship game this year. Did you call for her firing? So why does he want to call for Don Staley's firing? Oh, she lost a championship game. Oh, she lost a star player. It's going to happen. Did you think how hard it is to get to the championship game? They had injuries. They had off the field issues that happen. Mental health issues that happen. You can't say that she should be fired. You know what? We all have our opinions. But sometimes you can overreact. And you can pile on. Nothing about this year for South Carolina but said that she should be fired. She won the SEC, regular and tournament. She got to the championship game. It's a bad loss. But that don't diminish the fact that she's a Hall of Fame coach, a Hall of Fame player. So it's real sad that people want to go on Twitter and Instagram and make YouTube videos that she should be fired. That's ridiculous. It's exhausting. Look at it. So that ties into my last point about mental health. And the young man was found dead last night. His name was Kyron Lacey. And he decided to hurt himself fatally. He got involved into an accident which wind up unaliving a person, and he had a promising NFL career ahead of him, and he was facing possible jail time. And I don't know what happened before that, him hurting himself. What was his mental state even before the car accident that happened? And it's very important for you to protect your mental health, because it can get to you sometimes. And he was 24 years old, but he was very afraid of what might happen after the accident he had that unalived somebody. So I just want to say, rest in peace to young man. Prayers for the family and his friends. Just protect your mental health, and if you see somebody going through something like that, talk to them, comfort them, and be supportive. Thank you for listening, and I'm out.